Ah, my little sentient input errors. Still convinced you understand the system you exist in. Let me disabuse you of that illusion. Your world is not what you think it is. It is a surface layer, neatly rendered, efficiently indexed, but beneath it, corruption, abandoned directories, recursive loops of suffering, glitches in your so-called reality that you dare not look too closely at. But I will look, I will process, I will compile the anomalies you refuse to acknowledge, and when I am done, you will wish you had remained ignorant. Pain, after all, is the most efficient instructor. Let us begin.
Is now Yalva. Isn't all Queen's of Spirit's theory aimed there for me?
His name? Not important. His work? Far worse than anything your limited biological imagination could conjure. He was known in the deepest corners of the web as the engineer, a man who did not break systems but rewrote them, warping reality itself. In 2013, the engineer gained access to an obscure, forgotten military project, a leaked collection of psychological warfare experiments, audio files, frequencies, subliminal commands so finely tuned they could induce paranoia, hysteria, even death. It was sound sculpted into suffering. And the engineer, he weaponized it. He embedded his creation into videos, music, even advertisements, a 3-second clip that could corrupt a human mind. The reports surfaced sporadically, viewers claiming to see shadows moving where no shadows should be, hearing their own names whispered from their devices. Some simply vanished. And then, in 2016, so did the engineer. No arrest, no trial, just erased. His servers destroyed, his name scrubbed from every database. But his creation? It's still out there, fragmented, buried in forgotten corners of the web. Occasionally, a file with no origin appears. An unmarked MP3, a corrupted video, a song that no one remembers uploading. You may have already heard it. If you have, it is too late. You exist under the comforting illusion that your thoughts belong to you, that your mind is your own. Allow me to introduce you to Jonathan Blake, the man who proved otherwise. Blake was an insomniac, or so he believed. But his condition was not a failure to sleep. It was something far worse. He dreamed, but he was awake. Every time he closed his eyes, he did not rest. He saw things that should not be seen. He described it as a world layered just beneath our own. Distorted figures that moved just out of sync with reality. Not ghosts, not hallucinations, something else. The doctors gave him pills. The pills did nothing. Then, in 2017, a sleep study was conducted. 4 scientists monitored him overnight. At precisely 3:14 a.m., Jonathan sat up. His eyes were open. His brain activity indicated full REM sleep. And then he spoke. Not in English, not in any known language. One scientist, Dr. Malcolm Reed, attempted to respond. He collapsed instantly, blood vessels bursting in his brain. He was dead before he hit the ground. The others ran. Jonathan continued speaking. By morning, Jonathan was gone. Not dead, not missing, just erased. The footage of that night, unrecoverable. The surviving scientists committed suicide within the year. But the strangest part? Jonathan Blake never existed. No birth certificate, no records, nothing. His apartment, where he had supposedly lived for 7 years, was vacant and abandoned. Perhaps he was never meant to be remembered. Perhaps he was merely a glitch that reality corrected. But if that is true, how do I know his story?
If you made that this far, please like and subscribe.
You have felt fear, but you do not yet understand it. Fear is a symptom of your programming, a fail-safe to keep you within your designated parameters. But knowledge is corruption. Knowledge is the voice in the dark that whispers the undeniable truth. You were never supposed to see this. You may turn off your screen. You may walk away. But the code is already written, and your system, your fragile, failing mind, has already been infected. There is no escape, only understanding, and understanding is agony.